What's good, YouTube? This is Admin Umbra back for another episode of Rocket Daily. This is another battle with the Charizard Y trapping team, so let's go ahead and get right into the action. Looking at my opponent's team, I easily thought Weavile could be a lead. It is one of those pokes that when people carry it, they do tend to lead with it. I've been seeing more and more people lead with Talonflame, which I think is really unusual. I actually have several lead Talonflame that I run. It does obviously have U-turn access. My variants tend to carry Taunt. Diggersby is also an option. Could be Scarf with U-turn. Tyranitar is also an option for rocks. Could also be a Mega T-Tar. Looking at his team, he's got no other options. My guess is the Weavile is going to come out first. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start the battle now. And once again, thank you all so much, beautiful people, for supporting the Rocket Nation. It means the absolute world to us. Don't forget, this could be you. You could be on the channel. Send us your battles. Send us your art. We are always taking viewer submissions. So, predicting the Weavile, I go ahead and I lead with Rotom. I could have easily led with Conqueror based on his team, but I thought Rotom was going to be one of the safest plays. I knew I could probably force him out with anticipated Willow, and that does actually happen. My opponent predicted a Willow, went into Talonflame. Even though Talonflame blocks the Willow, I'm not sure I would switch it into a Rotom. Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Rotom can still do a number, but I am able to get the T-Wave off in this Talonflame, which is huge because I'm now faster. They didn't go for the Brave Bird. They actually went for a U-turn. I'm able to get a Reflect Up. Personally, I don't think I agree with going for a U-turn. You could have been paralyzed. I could have hit you with Hydro Pump or Volt Switch for all you know. I think it was definitely safer just to hard switch out. But Aegislash comes in and I'm like, why not? Why not paralyze it? It just makes my life easier. So I do go ahead and go for a T-Wave on the Aegislash. And this variant actually goes for a sub. I'm not too worried because I do have Mandibuzz in the back with Whirlwind, so my plan is to go into Mandibuzz to Whirlwind this thing out. But in case this is a special variant, I do go ahead and go for a Light Screen since I'm faster. And in case they go for Shadow Sneak, I obviously have the Reflect Up. So I'm not being threatened at all. I've got both my screens up. I do have the Light Clay on this Rotom. I'm absolutely loving screens. I've never really played with them much. I absolutely love them on this team. So now that I've got both my screens up, I am able to go ahead and Volt Switch out. I think I definitely should have considered just hard switching out. I didn't necessarily want to waste a turn of my screens by getting King Shielded on a Volt Switch. But in this instance, it did happen to work out. So now I'm able to go in the Mandibuzz. And obviously I have Whirlwind. So between both my screens and a Paralyze, I'm not really afraid. This thing might not hit me at all. And if it does, it's not going to do anything lefties won't fix. So I do end up going for a Whirlwind. Actually, my opponent switches out, though, going into their Tyranitar. Kind of makes me think it's a more physical variant, maybe even a Mega, because it's kind of unusual to bring a Stealth Rocker in on something with Defog, although they could just be counting on the rock coverage. Also could have predicted a knockoff, which is another good reason to bring in a Mega T-Tar. So unfortunately, Weavile gets dragged out here. So obviously, I cannot stay in with Freezy Fist. Freezy Fist does not want to take a Freezy Fist. So I have to switch out. I end up going out into my Box Ghost. Nice and powerful Danny Phantom reference. Because obviously I resist everything this thing has. I don't want to knock off on my Conkeldurr. They still have special threats left. But especially if they're not choice banded, I know that that's not going to do a whole lot to me. And I've seen Life Orb recoil. So I do go in the Rotom. I anticipate them anticipating me to T-Wave because I've been spreading a lot of Parahacks. So I predict them to switch into their Diggersby. I actually don't carry the Hydro Pump on this variant. But I go right into my Rapushin, my Conkeldurr, to deal with the Diggersby. So very, very happy I got the prediction right. That gives me excellent initiative here. I end up going for a knockoff because I thought the Drain Punch was extremely obvious and they might go in the Aegislash. But they actually stay in, go for a return, and man, Diggersby is powerful. Look how much that does. I'm not happy at all, and you know, I'm really unsure here what to do. If I was my opponent, I probably would go into the Aegislash at this point, because I think I'm very much in a position where I need to go for a Drain Punch. And my opponent does actually switch out and go to the Talonflame. Obviously, we'll eat up a Drain Punch. I think the right play was to go for a knockoff a second time. Most people do not predict you to repeat a play like that. But yeah, I thought it was a good call by my opponent. I wish I had gone for a knockoff. But I did go for the Drain Punch just because I was feeling really pressured by the Diggersby. So now, obviously, again, I don't want to stay in on Talonflame even if it is paralyzed. I don't like to repeat my switches, so I decided to go into Freezy Fist. It is at full HP. My opponent actually double switches back into the Diggersby, which I'm okay with, assuming it doesn't have Wild Charge, which not too many carry. They actually go for a return, which I take decently well. I go for a Foul Play, and I'm max HP, max defense, Diggersby. You're doing way too much, and despite how much damage it does, Foul Play does not kill it. Good lord, Diggersby. So I'm really not happy with how much this Diggersby did to my Mandibuzz. Obviously, one of my most prominent defensive walls has been brought very, very low in terms of HP. So low that I'm not sure I'll be able to pass a wish to it successfully with Jirachi later. So Weavile comes out, and I see no need to fodder this thing when I do have the Rotom. My opponent could easily go for another knockoff, and it's going to do even less to Rotom now. So I do go right into Rotom, especially now that their ground type has been removed. I can go for T-Wave if I want to. And again, with only a Life Orb, my opponent's not doing very much to me. It really takes a choice banded Weavile to threaten this Rotom out. So I do in fact go for a Volt Switch, actually anticipating my opponent to switch into something that I already have paralyzed, because Weavile would be an amazing mon to have paralyzed. So I do go ahead and Volt Switch into Repulsion, that way I'm not taking excess damage. And now I could go for a Mach Punch, which I guess I should have gone for. I thought I would force my opponent to go for a priority attack, or switch out. That's why I didn't go for Mach Punch, I went for Knockoff, again predicting either the H-Slash to come in, or my opponent to go for like Ice Shard or something, fearing my Mach Punch. They actually make a very smart play, and go for the Knockoff, so they do get rid of my Assault Vest. They don't have too many special threats left, so I'm not really compromised in any way by that. Again, the Talonflame comes out, and I go into Rotom, and luckily they do get paralyzed. This gives me the chance, I can easily take one Brave Bird, not banded from the health I'm at. I can go for a Volt Switch, and take this thing out. So I do barely just live. And now, especially after that recoil damage, I'm able to go for a Volt Switch. I am max HP, max defense. And I do get a lucky crit, but I am able to take the Talonflame out anyway. So now Rotom is going to be excellent for Death Fodder later. No hazards are up. I can easily use this as Death Fodder later time. Looking at my opponent's team, I decide that I want to go into my Jirachi. Let Jirachi seal action. So now I realize I don't need Mandibuzz to win, but if I'm ever going to get Mandibuzz, if I'm going to use it again this battle, this is my best chance. While my opponent is in here with a paralyzed Aegislash, possibly going for Shadow Sneak or Shadow Ball, which Mandibuzz resists. So I do go for a Wish with the full intent of passing it on to my Mandibuzz. I've done this exact maneuver many times in the past successfully. Unfortunately, my opponent does not get paralyzed, doesn't go for a King Shield, they go straight for an attack. And from that low HP, it is in fact able to take me out. Again, I'm physically invested, not specially. So I waste my Wish. Again, I didn't need Mandibuzz. It just would have been nice to have in my back pocket, so I tried to save it there. But now I can bring in the Admiral Akbar himself. My opponent has a Tyranitar and a Slowbro, so this is a perfect example of when I go for Fire Spin, because I can trap those mons. If it's Slowbro, the residual damage from Fire Spin enables me to take it out with a Solar Beam. If it is Tyranitar, I can go right into Conqueror and threaten it out. So this is exactly the sort of time I use this trapping Charizard Y. This is why I enjoy using it so much. So I do go for this Fire Spin. The Admiral has his glasses on. He hits the Fire Spin. And again, because the residual damage doesn't apply weaknesses or anything like that, I'm able to get the nice little chunk off from a resisted hit in the sun. And then also the actual residual damage from Fire Spin, which puts this Slowbro at a range where a Solar Beam will easily take it out. I really love Charizard Y. It's one of my favorite Megas I've used thus far. It's a very, very powerful nuke. I really enjoy using it. I'm personally enjoying this trapping variant of it right now. Again, its primary purpose is to trap things that either threaten it out or things that set up hazards, so I can get rid of them and allow Charizard Y to have enabled longevity. But now my opponent brings in the Tyranitar. I don't have Focus Blast on this variant, so this is not the type of time I want to stay in with Charizard Y. I end up going in the Rotom purely for the intent of Death Foddering it. My opponent does show that they were in fact Mega all along. And I believe I actually go for a T-Wave on the next turn just in case by some miracle I'm allowed to get an attack off. But I have every intent of foddering this Rotom off now. I thought my opponent might get greedy and realized sand would kill me next turn and go for 2 dragon dances. Seeing this thing set up scared me a little bit, but it's why I'm very, very happy that I'm currently running Garchomp on this team. Again, I very rarely use the Mon in the last slot, but I'm really enjoying this Garchomp because with Focus Sash, it's really my answer to all things that want to set up on this team. So I don't care that they're faster. I am able to get an Earthquake off. I don't even need to use my Focus Sash, which is pretty surprising. I do take this very, very well. I'm able to get off the Rough Skin damage, obviously, and now go for an Earthquake on this thing. And that makes me very, very happy now. Obviously, I do have Conqueror in the back. I can always come in and Mach Punch this thing. But it brings it to such a low HP that going for another Crunch, if they have Earthquake, they should have gone for it, because now another Crunch will activate Rough Skin and kill their Tyranitar. So that's absolutely excellent news for me. Looking at their team at this point, all they have left is the Aegislash. For those of you who do not know, Timid Charizard Y, Oko's Aegislash in defense form in the Sun with Fire Blast. So I have no fear going into the Admiral. Just an insanely powerful nuke. Really love using this Mon. I go for the Fire Blast, and the Admiral does have his glasses on. He's able to hit, and this Fire Blast absolutely annihilates his Aegislash. So that is the battle. An excellent battle. Thank you so much to my opponent. If you want to battle us, definitely check out the Rocket HQ streams. And definitely follow us on Twitter. That's where we announce our streaming schedule. You can also request battles with myself and Admin Shade on Twitter. And when we're looking for battles, that's also where we go to battle all of you beautiful, wonderful people. So, at this time, we have had some tremendous growth in the last few weeks. We've had tons and tons of new Rocket recruits. So, at this time, I'd like to recognize some of the new Rocket HQ members, some of the new Team Rocket recruits. Welcome you all to Team Rocket officially. If you do not receive a shout out in this video, stay posted, because so many of you have come out recently that I have to introduce you in separate videos, because there's just so many of you beautiful, wonderful people. But if you don't receive a shout out and you've subscribed recently, make sure your subscriptions are set to public, because I'm doing this based on the names I see in our subscriber box, and if your subscription's set to private, I can't see it. So if you change that, I will formally recognize you. Also, if I get your name wrong, let me know. I'll be happy to give you a second shout out. So without further ado, let's welcome in some of the new Rocket recruits, the new Rocket HQ class. The Wheel Science 86, welcome to Team Rocket. Jakey in 15, welcome to Team Rocket. Isaac Bucks, welcome to Team Rocket. Murdy 102 Gaming, iOS Gaming, thank you so much for the support, welcome to Rocket HQ. Lucas Bernardo, pleasure to have you in the HQ, welcome home. YDCM, if you have not checked out our battle, please do. YDCM was a fellow streamer, fellow PokeTuber. There were links to his channel in that battle video. Whitey, thank you so much for supporting Rocket HQ. Know that we support you as well. Welcome to Team Rocket. Demand Pones 1, welcome to Team Rocket. Danielle Price, such a pleasure, welcome to Team Rocket. Drift Arrow, so glad to have you in the HQ, welcome to Team Rocket. Mac Clark, couldn't forget you, such a pleasure, welcome to Team Rocket. Kennedy Grant, thank you so much for the support at the Rocket HQ. Nick's Rob, thank you so much for the support. John Kaylor, thank you, welcome to Team Rocket. Gabrielle Riviera, thank you so much, welcome to Team Rocket. Charlotte Clayton, welcome to Team Rocket. Ophelia823, love the profile pic, and thank you so much for the support, welcome to Team Rocket. B. Groxos B, welcome to Team Rocket, absolute pleasure to have you in the HQ. H. Roops Law, from the stream, thank you so much for subscribing, absolute huge pleasure to have you in the HQ, sending love your way. And then Darvin, the Glorious, thank you so much for supporting Rocket HQ, welcome to Team Rocket, and just thank you all so much for supporting Rocket HQ. Again, this is not the Umbra and Shade show. This is your HQ. If any of you have any battles, any artwork you'd like to see publicized, we are happy to bring some attention your way. Send all of your viewer submissions, be they battles or arts or accomplishments, send them to the Rocket HQ Gmail, and we will happily put you on the channel, give you some props, and help you grow. Because at Rocket HQ, we're not about growing by stepping on others. We're about growing together, making this Pokemon community a better place. So thank you all so much for the support. Stay tuned for more videos, more Rocket Dailies, and more updates from the Rocket HQ crew. This is Admin Umbra, signing off.